Turn on the torch, light up the flame. Time to melt some glass, my friend. There you are, here I am, to explain, to teach, and create again. Time for that ever-loving, glass-blowing maniac, Lucian Libby. Yay! Actually, that last part is from the Muppet movie. Okay, ready for this, guys? See what we got here? These are mustard seeds. Actually, the lid says it. See, mustard seeds. Okay, with me so far. You're going, okay. Is this a cooking show? Well, we cook glass every time we get in here. Just a different form of physics with material. Instead of, just warming it up, we melt it down. Okay. I intend to encase some glass. I intend to encase this tubing. I'm going to make some teardrops. And in those teardrops, I'm going to place a little mustard seed. And because these are, mustard seed, if you try to anneal it, it's going to explode. Or actually, poof. Interesting thing it does. And I might end up accidentally doing one to this or so. I'm going to encase it, make a little teardrop and a little loop, and show you how to do that little deed. So without further ado, there's a couple of things I guess a few of you look forward to in my videos. I guess, but maybe not. Now this is a smaller thing, so I'm only going to be using my 5 mil. 5 mil. I got corrected, and it's because of my dyslexia that I said 5 mil. It's actually a 5 liter per minute, or 5 minute, LPN. Anyway, 5 liter per minute. So it's a 5 liter, not a 5 mil concentrator. It's a 5 liter per minute concentrator. Okay. Sorry about that, and I am glad that I was corrected. It is just my dyslexia kicking in and not giving a darn after that fact. Now, let's see what I need to do. I need a blow hose. Yes, you need a blow hose because you're going to be blowing some hose. I might even have to stop this and look for my blow hose. Dang it. Oh, no, those are... And it's probably right in front of me too. Oh well. We'll get there. Let's see. I had a swivel right here a second ago. Maybe I can make do with what I have, even though I don't have what I need at the moment. If you can get a hold of one of these. This is a swivel, and basically the blow hose is aquarium hose equipment. But what I do, the swivel is very important in that it has a spinning mechanism going on the piece at the brass fitting here that's airtight, and that you could be spinning away and away and away and keep spinning in the same direction, and you don't have to worry about the hose twisting and continually twisting as it goes. Okay? With me so far? Or at least mildly confused, right? One of my mouthpieces. There we go. Wait. Gonna need... right available. A piece of hosing to secure this too. Are we good to go? Close enough. Now, light up the torch. Time to melt some glass, my friend. Now I'm going to make about 2 or 3 of these. And reason being is so that one will have a chance to cool. Excuse me a second, I have a... Sorry about the earthquake. I had a tape dangling down in my face and want to try to get rid of it. Now I try to make the teardrop using, and I try to use just about as much of the tubing as I can. And if you wanted to magnify the little seed, put a lot of tubing around it. I mean a lot of glass around it, but not as necessary. Okay. I'm going to narrow down the neck just slightly. Enough for the mustard seed to get through, but not enough to restrict it to where the mustard seed can't get through. I'm also going to thin out the neck partially so that when I seal it up, and you'll see what that goes like very shortly. But you got to let this cool before you put the mustard seed in, or you'll toast the mustard seed as well. Get in there without toasting the seed, right? This is one of my magic moments. So like Calgon, how do you get it clean? Ancient Chinese secret, right? I had a lot of fun doing the video, the live feed video of my newest student, Renee. Actually, my first student. First time I've been doing something like that over line. It's not as fun. It's not as it's not as good as being there in person, but I tend to understand a lot of the that they're going through and am able to translate and able to give them information. It was a matter of within an hour or so, Renee, and I also believe Lauren did a couple of them, was able to make a turtle, a land turtle, that from the lesson and make it look good. And she also decided to go forward and make a little ladybug, which is basically the just a little bit different, just a little. And once you get that that you have access to what I call an alphabet of shapes. And alphabet of shapes are like the round ball and the flattening of a disc and so on and so forth. And once you understand the principle of what you would call those letters in your brain, just like an alphabet of letters, you can take those letters and put them together and make the word CAT, and that gives you an image in your head immediately. Meow. But then you change just one letter in that word, HAT, and it becomes a totally different word in your head, and it becomes a totally different image in your head. And you don't confuse a hat with a cat. Wording is very similar, but just one letter different. And that's the same thing with the shapes that I use. Like, for example, my dragons are very similar to my horses, but by changing it subtly in one direction or another, you don't say, is that a horse, a dragon, a dog? You don't have to. Your mind picks up and knows what it is. That's the important part. The recognition. And somebody mentioned to me that it might be part of that fight or flee situation that we do all the time, and from our native and instinctual situations. because we had to recognize danger immediately. And even though it's not exactly a horse or exactly a dragon, our mind interprets it as a dragon or a horse. Okay. Now I've done 3 of these teardrops. Let me see about going back to the first one. It's within tolerance. You drop down a seed. Goes right down inside there. And then you again put it under the pressure, under the blow hose, and you try to keep the seed as far away from the constriction as possible. Okay, and I devised I used to have another pair that was, but this will work. You devise a way of holding on to the glass because it gets a little warm on the outside. Okay, now the very important part is you start to constrict some more, then do a real quick suck in and pull out a teardrop type deal. Not a teardrop, but oh, you see that? That means there's a little bit more air in there than needs to be. Now, I'm going to do a quick bail. And of course, cleaning up, I've taken away all my rods. And that one has something on it. Dang it, what is going on here? Tweezers. The worst part is, my normal tweezers are being occupied at the moment. Luckily I had a spare pair. Okay. Now, retouch. Flip around. And there you go. Actually, let me seal that in just a little bit. So I gotta take it down. Oops, sounds like there's still air going on in there. Oops, I forgot. I'll have to toast the seed there, guys. That's not good. Okay. That one's, it's been a while. I should have done 1 or 2 ahead of time. Now what I usually do is I get out like the marble mold or something. Never around when you want it. Oh, come on. There we are. And just 3 other things up at the same time. So that I hold it like this and keep the hot end up, and so that the seed doesn't roll back down into the mix and burn itself up. I will show you those in just a second. I'm going to do one more and get better at it because it's been a while since I've done this, but I had the idea to do this and show you for some dumb reason. Okay. I don't know if you can see it down in there dangling around. Now, tweezers. Not those pair, there they are. I'm going to try to constrict it a little bit better this time. And I've got a finer point flame going on. Probably make a big difference. Let it go down. Constrict. Now since you've got the seed in there, you can constrict it. But you don't have to take and seal it up immediately. If you have time and you want to do that so that you can even make a smaller tube. But the idea is to buffer the mustard seed away from the opening. Okay? And here we go. I'm going to suck and seal it up. There we go. Blow it out again. Okay. Now, to save a step, probably you could make a few of these bales ahead of time, so all you have to do is just seal it on and go for it. You know what I mean? There we go. I might even do this for torch top next time I'm on there. I want to see this. And the coolest thing is, yes, the seed gets slightly toasted sometimes. And matter of fact, the next one I am going to show you accident. Once that seed really cooks, whoo, change that out and get to the next one. It was right here. There it is. Now, you don't have to use just mustard seed. If there's other things that you want to try to put in there, like a rice, grain of rice or whatever, it's all up to you. And probably you could put a hemp seed in there if you wanted to. I've done it a few times. You know, well, in a case of emergency, break glass. No, not my style, but for somebody that would work out for them. And again, narrow out here. Without sealing it up quite yet. Okay, here we go. Sort of suck real quick. It seals it up. And there you go. Again, this is just the giving you a direction to try. The size wall tubing I was using is 9 mil or 9.5 mil heavy wall. I should have mentioned that before, but I didn't. 9.5 heavy. And it does the job. Okay, graphite rod to sort of ream the loop out a little. There you go. The mustard seed is the semblance of, you know, you plant a, you know, having the faith of a grain of a mustard seed. So that's a very Christian thing. And again, if you want to do the hemp, that's another faith all entirely. But gives you a direction to go in. I hope you enjoyed the show. I will have a picture of the finish. Actually, let me see what I can do here. This is the first one. Oh, that one got, no, what, there it goes. That one probably got a little toasted. Well, that's not the first one. This one's the first one. we go. I don't know if you can see that or not. Oh, it's unfocused. Never mind. I will do a picture of it so that you can see it, and I will post it on Facebook, and underneath I will put the URL to the feed. Thank you very much, and again, enjoy your day. Bye, guys.